over here. Mia, which one was yours? 19. Check out number 19. And again, people, I'll let you use a piece of paper for notes. I won't let you use the pre-test, but if you get a blank piece of paper and jot down yourself helpful reminders here, you might find things going not too bad for you. Problem number 19, Mia. If I had to guess, there's a couple things I'd say you did wrong. The biggest thing I see most people do wrong is 5 to the 0 power. What did you get for that? Okay, so you got that part right. The second thing is following order of operations. Okay, so this yes is definitely 1. 1 plus 4 minus 3 times 2 plus 1. Order of operations say you have to do multiplication before addition subtraction, so this would be the next thing you do, which gives you 6. So now you have 1 plus 4 minus, because of that, 6 plus 1. And then addition subtraction gets done from left to right. So you can't do 6 minus 1 and say it's going to be minus 5, because that's working from the wrong side. You have to go from here to here. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 minus 6 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Actually, in that case, it actually would work there. Where did you go wrong? Did I do something wrong? Is that the answer was 0? Okay. That'll do you every time. Other ones, because I see a lot. Somebody was messed. Somebody over here. Noah, yours was which one? 9? 10. Number 10? Is that on this page or is that next? 8, 9, sorry, 10. I found it over here. Don't worry, sometimes I just get mixed up with them. 10. What is the area of a triangle with vertices at negative 1, 1, 3, negative 1, and 2, 2? Again, people, don't take shortcuts. Get yourself, you've got squares on your paper, make sure that you use them. And I'd even use a ruler just to make sure whatever there. Negative 1 is right here. 3, negative 1 would be right about here. And 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 is right here. So you draw this triangle here, and they're asking you for the area of that triangle, correct? Formula for area of the triangle is 1/2 base times height. And the thing is, base and the height have to be perpendicular. They have to form a right angle. And none of these do. 0 zip zilch of them. So here's your quandary. The fortunate thing is you've got a bunch of perpendicular lines already drawn because you use squares to draw this. You just need to do this. To find the height is go to the top point of your triangle and draw a line straight down from there on that line to the bottom. That is your height of that triangle. It is 1, 2, 3 units tall. How wide is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. This triangle is a 4 by 3. 1/2 of 4 times 3, half of 12 is 6. There are 6 units in that thing. Go to the top of that thing, draw a line straight down, and you're good. As long as one of the lines of your triangle falls on either the horizontal or the vertical lines, you'll always be able to find the altitude or the height of the triangle. Madison.
How do you do 6?
How do you do 6? I really don't know this. 6 looks to me like a cut and divide. No, yes. Charges $12 a square foot to install the tiles. What's the cost to install this? So basically, Madison, you need to do what? You need to find the area, which is how many square tiles, and multiply that by how much is each square tile cost? $12. So how did you cut the shape? Did you cut the shape?
Yeah.
Up and down or sideways? So you did this, right? Perfect. Well, let's do the easy one first. We know this rectangle is 4 times 6, which is 24. this one is not quite as easy because we do know that this is 4, but you have to figure out what this little chunk is right here. How big is that little chunk? Knowing that if you add this and this together, you get this total thing. 4 plus what number gives you 8? 4. So you know this one is 4 times 4, which is 16. So my total combined area, 24 for the big rectangle, 16 for the little, is 40. And people, that's why I write this down to start off with, because too often you'll get so lost and excited about doing this that you'll forget this isn't the answer. This is what you need to get the answer. So now you have to plug that area into this. 40 times 12 is that $480 that you get for your thing there. Did anybody forget to multiply by the dollar thing? Oh, it's just me. Oh, there's one out there somewhere. Okay, Brian.
20.
How do I do number 20? I would suppose the best way to do this, Cabral, is think of this like this. You have x cubed and times x to the 4th, right? Which means you have this, x cubed, 3 x's times themselves, times another 4 x's times themselves, right? There's x cubed, there's x to the 4th, all over x to, what is that, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you multiply the same things, if you have the same thing on top as the same things on the bottom, they cross off 1 for 1, cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off, you're left with just x squared. Now an easy way to think about that is, multiplying those together, you actually get x to the 7th on top. Subtract exponents, x to the 5th from x to the 7th is x squared. But this is kind of a basic way. If you struggle with exponents, it's probably good to think about it like this for at least the time being. Because I saw how many you got wrong. I know there's got to be more questions than that out there. Ah, no, Caitlin Stritzel.
How do you make number 5?
Lucky number 5. What is the total price of 3.2 pounds of apple at 80 cents per pound? What did you do for that, Caitlin?
80 times 3.
0.2 though, isn't it?
I didn't do that part. I just did.
Times 3?
Yeah.
Well, it's not 3, it's 3.2. So it should be 3.2 times 80. Because that's how many pounds to run. So you get 0, 16, 24, 25. 1 decimal point, that's how many cents it is, correct? It's 256 cents, which means it turns into $2.56. Any particular reason why you didn't multiply by the 0.2 too?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I just didn't know if that was you just missed it or there's a reason why you didn't multiply by
I just missed it.
it. Ryan.
I don't get why I got more somehow.
At $30 per hour, how much would a worker earn at 2.5 hour job? What did you do?
32 times 2.5.
Multiply it on then. 5 times 32 is 160. Bring down a 0. 2 times 32 is 64. 0, 0, 8, sorry. 1 decimal point. I get $80. What do you get?
I got $70.
Multiplication error?
No, I don't get.
Did you get 160 and 640? When you multiply?
Oh, I carried the 1 there.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. I got you there. Cameron,
Yeah, number 13.
I would love to do number 13. That's why I'm here. Get over here. The Earth distance from the Sun is about 93 million miles. Express that number in scientific notation. What are the fundamental rules of scientific notation? you need to make this number, move the decimal so that number's between 1 and 10. So where would the decimal go in that number to make it between 1 and 10?
After 9.
Right, it would go right here. So it's 9.3. Scientific notation always has times 10 in it. You just need to figure out what that exponent of 10 is, which is how many places did you move the decimal to get it from here to there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 places to get it to that spot. Does that help? Okay, Ron.
Can you show me how to do
4? Let's look at 4. During the morning commute, 96 cars and 24 trucks pass through the intersection. What is the ratio of cars to trucks? Remember when it asks for ratio, order is important. First one given has to go on top. You need cars to run over trucks. How many cars were there? And how many trucks? And if you reduce that, you end up with, well, if you cut them in half, you get 48 over 12. Cut it in half again, you get 24 over 6. Divide them both in half again, you get 12 over 3. Divide them both by 3, 4 over 1. Or divide them both by 24 right off the bat, but that's where 4 over 1 comes from. Go to zone.
I don't know how I got number 3 wrong.
Well, I am here. Postage costs 39 cents for first ounce, 24 cents for the additional ounce. What is the cost of a 6-ounce envelope? So basically, there's no like easy way to do this. You kind of have to think about this. First ounce, Bella, costs 39 cents. So your first ounce is going to cost you that. How many ounces do you have left if you take that first ounce away? If it's a 6-ounce package and you already paid for one, 39 cents gets you 1 ounce, how many are left? 5, right? So you have to then pay 24 cents for 5 ounces. So it's going to be 24 cents times 5 ounces, which is $1.20 or 120 cents. And then you have the 39 cents for the one beginning one. So I'm hoping the answer was $1.59. Kind of get that?
Yeah.
Which we don't use postage very much because we have email and such that. Although you should send your grandparents your Christmas cards or something. That's it? Oh, again, I knew there'd be some more.
I don't understand why I did 15.
Number 15. Find the missing exponent. I like that. That's kind of a nice addition there, isn't it? Anybody? Logan, if you have 10 to the 4th times 10 to the 5th power. Again, if you struggle with this, what does 10 to the 4th mean? You have 4 tens times themselves. What does 10 to the 5th mean? You have 5 tens times themselves. So how many total tens are multiplied by themselves, times themselves?
4 and 5.
Which is?
20.
You see 20 tens there?
Oh, no.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10 to the 9th power. Same bases, 2 exponents. When they get multiplied, you add their exponents. If it is exponents 2 exponents, then you multiply them. That is 10 to the 20th power. But if it's 10 to the 4th times 10 to the 5th, that gives you a total of 9 10 times themselves. That's where exponents get a little crazy. You have to sometimes think just a touch there. Right, Grace? Well, you are smarter than most classes. Ask it, Claire. What you got? 17 is a good one. Here's the deal with 17. If you got 17 wrong, a lot of people see fractions and automatically get a little afraid of it. And then because they're afraid, they forget that you have to follow order of operations with this as well. So when you do 17, the first thing you have to do is this. What is 1/3 times 1/4? 1/12. So now my problem changes to 1/2 plus 1/12. And everybody knows when you add or subtract fractions, you write them up and down. What is your common denominator? 12. 1 times, you get 1 there, times 6, times 6. 6 12s and 1 12s is 7 12s. Life is good all over. Boy, everybody's going to get straight A's on this one. I would love to do it. My job on this is to show you each and every one of these. Convert 5/6 to a decimal with the bar over the repeater. Can anybody tell me what I'm going to tell you to do? Mr. Purdue, I'm going to tell you, use the piece of paper, the reference paper that I gave you. And hopefully 5/6 is on there. Is it not? Were you not here on that day? Cameron, maybe you weren't. On your notebook? Did I tape a piece of paper on your notebook? Maybe you weren't here on that day. Yes? Is there one there? Is the fraction 5/6 there? And what's the decimal? 0.8 repeater, 3. Now, obviously, children, you should know how to do that without that because you can do that. Alex, what would you do if you didn't know that and you didn't have access to that piece of paper?
Well, you could look it up online, or you could,
Let's go the hardest way humanly possible,
actually just do the problem,
which would be mean to do what?
divide 6 into 5.
Exactly. This is 5 divided by 6, which means 6 into 5. You have to put a decimal. 6 goes into 58 times, which is 48. 6 goes into 20. 3 times, which is 18. 6 goes into 20. You're going to keep getting 3s, so shebang. But I gave you that piece of paper because eventually there are certain ones you should know. You should know 1/3, the 6s, the 9ths, just because it's good to know. Madison. Yes. Which will be with your folder, right, on the outside inside of it. You're allowed to use that in any piece of note paper that you're writing stuff on. You cannot, though, use your pre-test paper or the pre-test sheet of answers. Because that would just be being slightly lazy on your part. Or lots lazy on your part. We good with that? Perfect. I will